Chester.
That was like the blue carpet. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, have a seat.
Hi. That was a long walk. Heck. You're probably wondering why she's called you all here. I know I am, so... Well...
I have no good answers for you.
Oh, fine.
They've locked the doors, though.
Oh, that's a good sign. What's that gas?
Jim, thank you so much for being here in Toronto.
I'm so glad to be here in Toronto. I've never been here before, and it's the second time in a month. Thanks for allowing me back in. Appreciate it.
We're so excited to have you here. We're going to do audience questions in a little bit. I'm going to ask you a few questions first.
Okay.
You've been doing voice acting since 1985.
Yeah.
I'm so curious about how the industry has changed since then and how you feel that you as a voice actor have changed since then.
Well, I'm a little busier now, and I'm a little older, apparently. But it was great. I didn't know that it was impossible to break into. So I was too stupid to know, so I just accidentally did. I think I came in through the side door. And, it was great. Back then, I made a demo tape. I knew I always wanted to do this since I was like 4. I'd doing dolphin noises in the back of the room and getting yelled at. And but the joke's on them now. And it was just a lot of fun. I shopped around my demo tape, gave it to a couple people, and the one guy I knew named Sal Romeo, he made a B horror movie called Soul Survivor, and he was because I was working at a video store, and he was my showbiz contact. I gave him the tape, and he didn't have anything to do with it, and he said, well, you don't suck, so I'll hold on to your tape. And I said, good, always a good sign, non-suckage. And he gave it to a fellow named Frank Brandt, he gave it to Don Bluth, who, The Secret of Nim and American Tail. And he called me back and said, well, you don't suck, but I'm not doing anything. I'm doing video games. He was doing something else, and he held on to it and said, I'll pass it along. And so I was getting passed around, but it was like 6 weeks. And then the next phone call I got was a guy named Frank Brandt, and God bless him. And he and Caroline Hay were starting to gear up to do Dumbo Circus for Disney Channel. Disney Channel was just starting up, and apparently they're doing well. They're hanging in there, You're welcome, Disney. And yeah, right. But and I got the job of Lionel the Lion, and apparently I was continuing to not suck, so that was good. And then I got an agent, and that lasted like a year and a half. So I never got to be a waiter. I'm just kidding. I'm the biggest failure anybody knows because I wanted to be a mime.
What?
I can't tell you how I blew it. Impossible to tell you how poorly I did at that. Thank God.
Literally the exact opposite. As far in the opposite direction as you can go. And I think for a lot of people in here, you are the voice of their childhoods, really.
Yeah, I know. I know. So, look at all the people I messed up.
I have to ask about Winnie the Pooh. You've been doing the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
Yeah.
1988, 1989.
Yeah. Well,
amazing.
87 for Pooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm curious, what was it like for you taking over these characters that were already pretty iconic? Yeah.
Well, see, it's weird. People ask me that. And back then, it had been like 20 years since Pooh was around, because it was in the 60s, the first 2 or 3, the little shorts they put together. And they won an academic award, way back then. But it hadn't been around for it just wasn't, literally not unseen. I'm sure people were watching it somewhere, but ABC and Disney were separate companies then. And they said, wow, hey, remember that bear? Let's do something with that bear and that little tiger and the happy donkey. And so they did. And they just put out a regular casting, audition call. And I went in and I thought I nailed Eeyore. Oh, well. I had to settle for Pooh and Tigger. So it just worked out, I did. It wasn't as big a... People say, well, it must have been so daunting. And I just thought it was going to be a really cool job because I remembered it. And My little brother was actually a big Winnie the Pooh fan, and I used to say, his name is Pooh, in case you didn't know. The H on the end isn't fooling anyone, I mean, it was like... And now I'm...
Did you ever think you would be doing that for this long?
No. Thank God I am. But apparently it's working out.
I heard that. Do you have like a favorite short or feature that you've done?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was the one with Honey. You remember the one with Honey, don't you? Well, of course they do. Don't be ridiculous. So, yeah, that's the one.
That's an acceptable.
I got her. I got her with that one.
That's my actual mom. Hey. Nice work, yeah.
You're kidding. No, I'm kidding. You guys are like clones, so I know that. A beautiful thing.
How did you feel about Christopher Robin, the new film? Were you impressed with how well they nailed the characters?
He had a bigger trailer.
Rude.
Bastard. No, it was great. I remember we first talking about it for a couple years ago. I go, so what are we doing now? Really? Oh, wow. Okay. And I thought that'll be fun. Yeah. And I said, as long as Jude Law's not in it. I'm kidding. I was joking with Ewan about that. He thought that was very funny. But and actually, one of the things is I was worried that, because a lot of times when they do like a animated feature or something, and then it's going to be on camera or, like a live action, I was waiting for, the thing you hear like, Russell Crowe is Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. I was like, dang, I don't know, man. But I'm glad they let me in it. And,
they did cast someone else as Tigger, though, and then they were like, this is bad, actually.
God bless his heart. He's a nice fella, great actor. I just think that, I can't tell you the story about my daughter saying, save Tigger, Daddy. No, I won't say that. No, I mean, she actually said that, and I go, well, it's not my ball and bat. Trust me, I'd be there. But I think they were kind enough to, I think they just showed it to some target audiences, focus groups or something, and it's not. And I'm sure he was great. It just sounded different. That's really all.
Yeah.
Different personality. He was more. I don't know. It kind of Rodney Dangerfield-ish. I don't know. I can't explain it. But I mean, he's a heck. What's funny is Chris O'Dowd. He's a great actor. I dig him. He's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, will you get out of the 100-acre wood? Thank you. Go be famous somewhere and let me have my little voice. No. But it worked out. No hard feelings.
We have an Ursula in the audience too. You look amazing, by the way.
Yes, I saw. There she is. Poor unfortunate soul. Yes.
Yeah, you were King Triton in.
I was in the Ariel. That's my impression. That's.
So
thank
good.
you. Oh, stop it! Stop it!
What was it like working on that?
Yeah, it was a ball.
Yeah.
It was a ball. Yeah. Jodie's amazing.
Yeah.
She sings like Jodie Benson. It's crazy.
Go figure.
Yeah, this guy knows. He's trouble. You're not fooling anybody.
You've done a lot of singing voices in Disney films.
Yeah.
Maybe most famously, you had to dub over some folks for
The
Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King and Hercules, and I saw Christopher Lloyd earlier, and he never remembers me. It's great. It's so great. I sang for you in Anastasia. How'd I do? You are awesome. That's good. Who are you again? Get this guy out of security. So in the dark of the night. Yeah, so I joke around, and my buddy Jess Harnell and I, we joke around. I say that I'm a stunt singer because a lot of singers don't act, and a lot of actors don't sing. And since I can't do either one, I get to do both. So yeah, I got that going for me.
We're gonna open up to audience questions just 1 second. My last question for you.
Yes.
This is maybe just for me and not for anyone else, but Baldur's Gate is my favorite video game
you too.
of all time.
Wow.
No, there was one other person in the audience who was like, yeah.
That dude, I know him. Yeah, him back there. Look how cool he is.
Yeah, he's awesome. Will you do a Go for the Eyes?
Go for the eyes, boo. One side villainy, the hamster of justice is coming through.
Thank you, I'm so happy.
I can't. That kills me. The very first convention, I haven't been doing these as long as most people. I've been doing about 4 or 5 years, and it was in Connecticut, and these guys came up to me and said, "Do the line, man. Do the line." And I went, "Let's get date." No. What do you mean no? Oh, but no. The wonderful thing about it. No. What? He goes, "Go for the eyes, boo." And I go, "What?" I think I did it. Was it 99?
Yes.
Was it 99? Why am I asking you? This guy knows.
It was.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I just didn't, I'm not a gamer. I don't know. And when you do video games, it's just you and alone in a room and a stack of words like that. Now, you got to watch because I don't do many of them. I want to be like the storyteller.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy who falls from the third moon of Jupiter through a vat of acid on fire for a 400 light year drop. And you're screaming the whole time. No, thank you. But I'm glad other people like them.
Well, thank you. If you do have a question, throw your hand up and we'll go around. Yes, with the Minnie Mouse ears.
Oh, yes.
I have a question from my brother. He couldn't make it today.
Oh, that troublemaker.
He's wondering if you have any fond memories you want to share from Bump in the Night.
No. Okay, maybe a few. Is this the one about messing around with Molly in the closet or something? No. Oh, no. I don't know what you're talking about. No, all I can tell you is it was great. I think it was such an underrated show, and it was great because it was as if Bumpy was the son of like Tom Waits, Dr. John, and Louis Armstrong, and he looked as good as their son would look too. So Mr. Bumpy, tell him Squishin' Me said hello. So yeah, his name is Mr. Bumpy. He go bump in the night. But yeah, and I'll answer another question now that someone's going to ask at any minute now, and it's Pooh and Tigger are up at the top, and they're in their own category, and you guys have to guess the question, and then Darkwing Duck, definitely. And definitely Ray from Princess and the Frog. That's one of my very near and dear to my heart. And Hondo Ohnaka, Star Wars. Okay, now, what was the question I just answered? Yeah, there you go. I figured we'd get that out of the way.
No, it's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, over here, another Dana. Hi.
How about which order is your favorite villains that you played?
Of my favorite villains? Well, villains have a lot of fun. Robotnik had a pretty good time. Snively, you have prisoners? Oh, that's good. I like prisoners, this guy's going, Pete's not really a villain, but he provides a lot of friction and, like, Daddy can't miss you if you don't go away, I guess, I sing for a lot of villains, Scar
Yeah.
and Anastasia. And I'm drawing a villain blank right now. Hondo Ohnaka's not really a villain, right? He's not. He's kind of a. He wouldn't play cards with him or anything like that. But he's not really a villain. But villains have a lot of fun, Captain Hook probably had as much fun as Peter Pan, right? Yeah. And I think I saw Captain Hook earlier today. There he is now. Yeah. Oh, quit showing off. Put your hook down. So yeah.
That was a great question.
I'm not sure if I answered that question. Somebody says something, then I just kind of Tourette for a minute and a half, and then go, okay.
You're doing great. Let's go, back here. Hi.
Hold my hat.
Yes?
Just a couple of quick questions.
Oh, you have to stand. And what's your favorite color and your sign?
When you were recording for the Kingdom Hearts games, how surreal was it to hear these characters you
Yeah, that's a good question. Pretty darn surreal.
And my second question
Uh-oh.
is, could you, as your favorite character, do your favorite movie quote?
I love
Sure.
that question.
Well, first, the first time I ever did the Kingdom Hearts, because they animate them in Japan, and they come, and we had to redo them, and it was really, really hard the first one. They finally snapped out on the second one and didn't refine the lips a lot. They would let because like Pete would come out and go, Mushidoya, oh, Dobosiki Abutai, and which isn't Japanese. But it's my terrible rendition of it, and I'd go and then the English would be, "Hello, Mickey." So I said, "Well, I'm screwed. Thanks, and no, it's not good. It's a bad thing, And so now they I think they snapped to it, but it's pretty darn hysterical to see that, Bata. And I thought that's pretty cool,
Yeah.
And the coolest thing I ever saw with that was from Colors of the Wind, and Disney does this thing where they'll, and it was Pocahontas, and it started off with Pocahontas, as we all know, and then it moved into French, then it moved into Mandarin, then it moved into Greek, then it moved into Russian, and it sounded like one person. It was that. I wish they would release that. That would make a really cool YouTube thing. Everybody, you guys will get a kick out of that one. So the answer is it was quite surreal doing that, because you're going, kind of sounds like me. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah. And the second question. What was the second question?
It was, do your favorite movie line and
yes.
your favorite voice.
Well, gosh, who had a lot of them in the last one? And I kind of like, well, people say that nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. And it's just that easy.
Hi.
Sorry. What voice did you find the most difficult that you've ever done?
I was, what voice do you find the most difficult?
Well, Taz was up there. He's. We used to do him on when we were doing Tasmania. I don't know if that show was popular up here, but it was. I don't know where it went, but it was one of my favorite shows. Yeah, and we would just do them on Friday afternoons. I was like, could we do Friday afternoons so I could like heal for the weekend, Because I always joke I'm Winnie the Pooh and the anti-Pooh, Taz like, and it's, you do that about 4 hours and you're going, so that was, but honestly, the worst one was a show, and please tell me no one's seen it. It's right up there with the Garbage Pail Kids, called The Mangler. Didn't see it, right? Keep it that way. You're doing fine. And it was, they made it. I think it was based off the popularity of Stephen King's movie Christine, where there was a haunted car, and that was pretty cool. That worked. Well, this, I kid you not, it was from a short story. It must have been on a pamphlet, I think. But it was kind of in the Industrial Revolution, and it was at a dry cleaning factory or something like that. And it was a gigantic press, laundry pressing iron board, big, big, and it kind of scary looking when it moved. But it was, and it was pulling people in while they were like pressing sheets, something, and then it would pull people in and iron them, press them to death, and then nobody noticed, and the machine got a little more evil, and they came up with they said, we need some scary stuff for this, and I said, oh, okay, well, and so I invented this horrible sound like, and that hurt just doing that. And then another one was, then the other one was, it sounded like a toilet flushing. And then they played it backwards.
I feel like I've literally seen
episode of
Yeah.
Supernatural.
Oh God. Yeah, and it was it was Tobe Hooper, one of the big guys, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, an actual Stephen King, Tobe Hooper, and I said, oh man, that's going to be a pain. You tell them I'll do it, but it's like for double, and they paid me. Shit. I wasn't looking for that, and then but thank God. So don't hurry up and see it. Hurry up and don't see it as soon as possible. And the cool thing is, in the credits, I'm Tim Cummings, and I went, yes. Take that, Tim. It's not me.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Jim. You did the voice Leatherhead from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What's that?
Leatherhead from
Oh yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
In the voice.
Yes, I can't. I always wondered. It's funny you asked about that. I told him to. No, I'm kidding. But I was in New Orleans when I was a kid. As a deckhand on a riverboat, and the very first time I was on the river was the very last time that this tugboat captain was on the river, and his name was Léonce Leblanc, and he was from Louisiana, and he spoke French. He was born and raised in America, but out there in the Cajuns, out there in the swamp, that was Cajun French. And I got on there and I couldn't understand a word he said for like 3 days, and he loved me. No, and he wanted to throw me in, and he said, "Well, I'm not going to taught you nothing about these balls, but let me tell you, you got to know how to make red bean and rice before you get over here." And like a few years later, I moved to Los Angeles, started doing this, and they go, that we need a Cajun scary dude, and I went, I got him. I was worried he was going to throw me into the river every day. And that's what he sounded like. In fact, I always wondered if his grandkids were sitting around on Saturday morning. Hey, Grandpa, come in here. You see this guy right here? You know this guy? Who knows? We'll see. It makes a cool story, though. Sort of.
I always feel like Chippendale Rescue Rangers doesn't get enough love.
I do too. Chippendale. That's right. They were threatening to do a live action of that a couple of years ago.
That's a terrible idea.
I know. That would be awful. Yeah.
But I love Monterey Jack. That was a big...
Good on you there, darling. Stay chasing. Yeah. Monterey. Yeah.
Yes, hi.
I have a Winnie the Pooh hat. I'd like to give it to you. Would you like it?
Only if you let me wear it right now for the rest of the thing. Thank you. Look at you. Yay! There's a joke about his balls, but I'm not going to make it. I was kidding about wearing it. No, I'm not. Here we go. Talk to me. I'm going to regret this. I already do. Okay, how's my hair? Be brutal. Is it okay? All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Very sweet. Okay. Don't look at me. Hi. Yes, she's an opera singer. Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, we do. We talk to I do. We're not schizophrenic, and neither are we. So yeah. I do that all the time. I used to do it like in the early years. I would just go back and forth, and in my mind, I'm probably like 10 times more critical, which is good, fine, than anybody else. And I would think, oh wait a minute, I think I heard a whisper of poo on that Tigger hoo-hoo. I got to redo it. So I do all poo first and then Tigger. Yeah.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. But yeah, keep on bouncing.
The great
And hit those high notes.
Yeah.
Hi, there she is. She's beautiful. It says it backwards, and since I'm less Dixie, I was able to read it. I really wanted Marge Simpson.
Just
Go
wasn't meant to
fig.
be.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm a pretty happy guy. Because people ask me that, and I was like, wouldn't that be coveting or envy? And I really am envious of a lot of people. No. But no, I think I'm pretty happy. I'm sorry?
What about a future character you hope you can play?
Oh gosh, I don't know. If somebody writes a really good one, maybe I'll come up with one.
That's for you guys.
That's your job. Yeah.
Ursula.
Yes. No, you have to stand up. We have to bask in your magnificence. Let's bask. I'm basking my little guts out up here. All right.
What would be the weirdest I am the terror of the night scene you've ever had to do?
Oh, you mean like the phrases or whatever? Yeah. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the bug that splatters across the windshield of crime. I am Darkwing Duck. And my go. Yeah, I don't know. They were all pretty cool. You know, I am the paper jam and the copier of crime. And funny thing about that, when the first, maybe we're like 7 or 8 shows in, and I ad-lib a lot. No, yeah, I do. And and Jessa Harnell tells a story too. It's like, I am the terror that flaps in the night. Now that's a standard, and the third line's always going to be, I am Darkwing Duck. So I'm reading it because I don't read the scripts in advance, and I just totally blew the take because it says, I am the terror that flaps in the night. It doesn't matter what I write here. Jim's going to say something else anyway. I am Darkwing Duck. So that was a pretty good one. And I don't remember what I said, by the way.
No, you did great.
No, okay.
On that note, is there any chance in the future you're going to get to reprise your role as Darkwing Duck?
Yeah, we're not waiting on me. I think I popped up in a DuckTales, so I'm pretty sure that was
did?
me. Yeah. So I don't know, you guys should call them. How about that? Yeah. No, I think, well, DuckTales came back and they're actually doing a redo of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I think they're doing 12 more.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm still here. Yeah, we're not waiting on me.
Nice. Hermione, hi.
Is there anything that you do to protect your voice or to help it heal if you have a really hard character to play, or do you have to do like a lot of work in a single day?
Yeah, well, I never smoked. I never, you hear that whiskey and cigarettes, and I don't have either one of them. I'll have a Corona with you maybe, but I never did smoke, so, and plus, since I was a kid, I jokingly say I've been a professional musician since I was 13 because somebody gave me and my 4 buddies $40 to play these 9 Temptations songs that we played for free anyway. So I had $10, so I was a professional musician. So I, having sung for all those many years, I think you probably build it up. It's like a muscle. But you just take care of it like you do any instrument, Like if I was a baseball pitcher, I'd be taking care of my arm, I suppose. So, and you go to a sporting event, a football game or something like that, I go, hooray, good.
Oh yeah.
That's good. I'm not that, I'm not that guy. Because, you're going to lose your pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasia.
Oh, Mick, he's phantasmic.
Thanks. Can we hear your Marge Simpson impersonation?
My who?
Can we hear your
My Bart Simpson. Hi, I'm Nancy Cartwright. How are you? It's kind of, I know, oh God, I give myself goosebumps. Or goosebumps. No, I have no, that was it.
That's good.
I'm just kidding. Cowabunga. It's kind of spooky, right? It's like she's in the room.
Weird. So, you have
Yeah,
What was your experience or voicing Pete and say Mickey, Donald, looking the Three Musketeers? Because I feel like you had the most fun with Pete on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was weird because Donovan Cook, the evil genius behind it, he was like, no, Pete's going to murder Minnie. We're going to kill her. And she's going to be picking potatoes with a stepladder. And I mean, on and on and on. I go, you're not going to get away with putting this in here. No, they're not going to let me say that. And he was adamant, no, I got full carte blanche. Well, by the end of it, it was like, she's doomed, I tell you, doomed. And I said, what happened to drawing and quartering her and, drowning her? And it was really vicious stuff. And so that was the experience there, I guess. But it was kind of neat, though. I had a lot of fun with that one because, like on Mickey's Mouse Clubhouse, he was very tame. And Mickey and the Roadster Racers, he's a little more bodacious. But back then, he was full-blown Pete. He needed a shave, hand me the cigar, and yes, I do have a peg leg, and the whole bit. He was good old nasty Pete. It was kind of fun. Thanks for bringing it up.
What do you prefer, nice Pete or nasty cigar?
Oh, the nasty cigar smoking. What the hell? Sure.
Captain Hook.
One of my favorite memories with John Carnage had to be when he unexpectedly challenged Captain Hook to a duel, in which Captain Hook goes, "No one insults me, I'll get somebody with it," and ensues by eventually gets away by cheating. I was just wondering,
Are you making this up? I don't remember that. Was it in Tailspin?
I think it was like a watch niche thing.
A what?
The show Watch the Niche. It was like very obscure.
Oh, right. Yes, gotcha.
I was just wondering if
Did I win? Of course I did.
I was just wondering if you had any particular John Carnage memories that will always
Yes. You know something I'm going to tell you right between the face. If I was not already me, I would envy you because you get to meet me. How about that one? I tell you this.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I loved him. I thought that it was like he was the first Monty Python character in a Disney cartoon. He had no business being there whatsoever,
Get them a lot. I love to hate you.
Yeah. And they brought him back, and it wasn't me. I don't know what to tell you about that one. That was weird. I hate that guy. I'm kidding. I don't even know who it is.
Mary.
Yes, I do. No.
Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
ever.
good. Mine too. Thanks.
What was your favorite part of being Ray? What was your reaction when you found out what was going to happen to Ray?
Well, talking Randy Newman into writing that second song, I was like, dude, because he's my close personal friend. No, I sang Evangeline, which I thought was so beautiful. I loved it, And I even, my little girl Gracie, she's 13 now, but she was 4 when Tiana was 4 in the beginning of the movie, and she looked just like her. She adopted me. And I lived in New Orleans forever. I had my house. I just sold my house there a couple years ago. And I was on the deckhand on the riverboat, and it even had food in it. Come on, so I know. And I just said, if I don't get this role, I'm gonna shoot myself because my kids are gonna be sitting around playing this song, and it's gonna be Harry Connick Jr. doing it. Because they wanted someone from New Orleans, and I was never happier than when I got that role. And one of the coolest things about it is they said, first of all, people think the Cajun accent is like a Southern accent, like from Alabama, something like that there, and it ain't the way it is at all. Because them Cajun, they got that different patois, yeah. And so I kind of was able to bring that in. One funny story. Okay, this is so funny. You should pre-laugh like now. They said you have to show up and you have to bring sheet music for a Cajun love song. Good luck finding sheet music because they didn't write any sheet music. They didn't have it. What you talking about? And so, but Leon Russell had a song on an album of his called Carney, and it was called A Cajun Love. That was the name of the song, A Cajun Love Song. So they said, "What are you going to sing for us?" And I said, "A Cajun Love Song." And they said, "No, really, what's the name of it?" A Cajun Love. And so, they had an accordion player there, and he didn't know it. So I just did it at Acapulco, and apparently I was in key enough. And the very first thing out of my mouth as Ray, just the audition, was, come on, get your leg and come on, get to way back in the bayou on fishing time. And it's in the movie. That, because they played it, and apparently I was close enough to being somewhere near the key that they just used that because they wanted like a little work song while he was untying the frogs' tongues from each other. It's a conversation you don't get to have every day. But yeah, so it was fun. So that was kind of neat. And then gonna take you down, gonna take you down, gonna take you on the way there, join along. I'm kidding. But he didn't want to write that. And I said, you gotta write a Zydeco song. We're in the swamp. What are you gonna write it in the next Louisiana Bayou movie in the swamp? Write a damn. So he, they had all talked him into it. So that was kind of a cool thing. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite characters that you aren't usually asked about that you want to do?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, Mr. Bumpy. Somebody brought him up. I always thought he was one of the cooler ones, and Bonkers, and I thought was an underrated show. It was kind of cool. Yeah. Bonkers and Lucky.
Lucky was the first Toon detective. I don't know if you knew that. You probably didn't, but anyway, he was.
And so, yeah. And man number 3 in that one episode of The Mask. Yeah, that was me, number 3.
You had to dig deep for that one. Yeah. It's been such a delight having you with us today. I was hoping before we head out, you might be able to share a nice, kind message for your fans here as Winnie the Pooh, as sort of a parting gift.
Oh yes, do me one small favor, and stay just as sweet as honey forever, and keep on bouncing. TTFN.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Convention Junkies coverage of Fan Expo Canada 2018. Join the conversation below with a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. If you would like to help us with future projects, please visit our Patreon page.